The night is cold and silent. A shadow detaches from the darkness, moving with practiced economy. In his hands is a tool, an extension of his will. It's a finely tuned piece of engineering, crafted for one purpose: to dominate the fight. This is the world of Special Operations Forces. These operators are the tip of the spear, the first ones in and the last ones out. Their gear is legendary, whispered about in forums and debated endlessly by enthusiasts. Their rifles in particular have achieved an almost mythical status. They represent the absolute pinnacle of small arms technology, a promise of unmatched performance when everything is on the line. But what makes these rifles so special? Is it just the brand name stamped on the lower receiver? Is it the exotic materials or the cutting-edge design? We see these guns in movies, video games, and on the news, held by the most elite soldiers on the planet. Naturally, we want them. We want to know what it feels like to hold that level of capability. The question we have to ask, however, is a serious one. Is the hype real? Do these high-dollar, top-tier rifles actually deliver a performance advantage that justifies their legendary reputation and astronomical price tags? Or are they just a product of clever marketing and government contracts? This isn't just a simple gear review. This is a deep dive into the world of elite weapon systems. We're going to break down the most famous Special Forces rifles piece by piece. We'll look at the guns that have become icons: the HK416, the FN SCAR, the SIG MCX, and more. We will examine their performance under the brutal conditions of real-world combat, where a single jam can be the difference between coming home and not coming home at all. We will explore the factors that truly matter: accuracy, reliability, modularity, and the ergonomics that allow an operator to fight effectively for hours on end. Ultimately, we are on a mission to separate fact from fiction. We're going to investigate which of these dream guns have truly earned their place in the armories of the world's most demanding units, and which ones might be a little overrated. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of a rifle used by Delta Force or the Navy SEALs. But the truth is, the best tool for the job isn't always the most expensive or the most exotic. It's the one that works every single time without question. Let's get into it and find out what's really worth it. Let's open the Dream Catalog. These are the rifles that dominate discussions and fill the wish lists of gun enthusiasts everywhere. First up is the Heckler & Koch HK416. This is the rifle that famously replaced the M4 in the hands of Delta Force and SEAL Team 6. It looks like an AR-15, but it runs on a short-stroke gas piston system, making it incredibly reliable, especially when suppressed and run hard. It's known for its durability and precision, a true German-engineered workhorse. Its reputation was sealed in history, making it one of the most desired rifles on the planet for both military and civilian shooters who can find one. Next, we have the FN SCAR, which stands for Special Operations Forces Combat Assault Rifle. Developed specifically for a USOCOM requirement, it comes in two main flavors: the SCAR L, light, in 5.56mm, and the SCAR H, heavy, in 7.62mm. With its monolithic upper receiver, folding stock, and ambidextrous controls, it was designed from the ground up to be modular and adaptable. Its distinctive look and adoption by units like the 75th Ranger Regiment have cemented its place in the top tier. The SCAR is a purpose-built fighting machine, designed to meet the specific, demanding needs of special operators in a post-9/11 world. Then, there's the SIG MCX platform, a relative newcomer that has made a massive impact. The MCX was designed to be the ultimate modular system. It can quickly swap barrels, calibers, like 5.56mm and 300 blackout, and handguards. Its short-stroke piston system and unique recoil assembly mean it can operate with a folding stock, making it extremely compact for vehicle operations or concealed carry. USOCOM recently adopted a version of it, the LVAW, Low Visibility Assault Weapon, proving its worth at the highest levels. The MCX represents the latest evolution in rifle design, prioritizing adaptability above all else. Rounding out our list are a few more legends. The Steyr AUG-A3, a modern take on the classic bullpup, offers a full-length barrel in a compact package, making it ideal for urban combat. The CZ Bren 2 is a lightweight, modern rifle that evolved from the SCAR program and has been adopted by elite European units like the French GIGN. Don't forget the Knights Armament Company, KAC SR-16, an ultra-premium direct impingement AR-15 that is refined to perfection with proprietary parts. Finally, the IWI Taver, another bullpup used extensively by the Israel Defense Forces, is known for its ruggedness and combat-proven design. Each of these rifles brings something unique to the table. When rounds are flying, two things matter more than anything else: accuracy and reliability. A rifle has to hit what you're aiming at, and it has to go bang every time you pull the trigger. Let's start with accuracy. Most of these top-tier rifles, like the HK416 and the KAC-SR16, are capable of shooting sub-MOA, minute of angle groups, meaning they can hit a 1-inch circle at 100 yards with quality ammunition. This level of precision is crucial for surgical shots in hostage rescue scenarios, or for engaging targets at extended ranges. The monolithic upper receivers on rifles like the SCAR and MCX also contribute to accuracy by preventing any shift in zero when lasers or optics are mounted. However, combat accuracy isn't just about shooting tiny groups from a bench. It's about how the rifle performs under stress, in awkward positions, and after being exposed to the elements. A rifle's trigger, balance, and recoil impulse all play a role. The SCAR H, for example, is a powerful .308 rifle, but its recoil can be sharp, potentially affecting rapid follow-up shots. In contrast, the HK416's piston system, while reliable, can create a slightly different recoil impulse than a standard AR-15, which some shooters need to get used to. The goal is a rifle that is not just mechanically accurate, but practically accurate in the hands of an operator. Reliability is the absolute, non-negotiable foundation of a combat rifle. This is where piston-driven systems like the HK416, SCAR, and MCX truly shine. They run cleaner and cooler than traditional direct impingement (DI) systems, because hot gas is vented at the front of the rifle, instead of being blown back into the receiver. This drastically reduces fouling and carbon buildup on critical components like the bolt carrier group. For special forces, who often run their rifles suppressed and on full auto, this is a game changer. A suppressed DI rifle gets filthy fast, which can lead to malfunctions at the worst possible moment. The infamous over-the-beach test, where a rifle is submerged in water, drained, and immediately fired, is a brutal benchmark for reliability. Piston guns generally excel here. The HK416, for instance, was specifically designed to meet these harsh maritime requirements for units like the SEALs. While a well-built DI gun like a KAC or a high-end AR-15 can be very reliable, the piston system offers an extra margin of safety in the absolute worst conditions: sand, mud, water, and extreme firing schedules. For special operations, where failure is not an option, that extra margin is everything. A modern Special Forces rifle is not just a gun, it's a platform. Modularity is the concept that allows an operator to tailor their weapon to the specific mission. This means easily adding, removing, or changing components like optics, lasers, lights, grips, and suppressors. The Picatinny rail and its lighter successor, M-LOK, are the keys to this system. Rifles like the FN SCAR and SIG MCX were designed from the ground up with modularity in mind. The SCAR's monolithic upper provides a continuous, rock-solid rail for mounting optics and lasers, ensuring they hold their zero. The MCX takes it a step further, allowing for quick-change barrels and handguards in the field. This adaptability is critical. An operator might configure their SIG MCX with a short 300 blackout barrel and a suppressor for a low-visibility mission in a dense urban area. The next day they might swap to a longer 5.56mm barrel for a mission in the open desert requiring longer engagement ranges. This level of plug-and-play capability saves time, money, and logistical headaches. It means one rifle platform can fulfill multiple roles, which is a massive advantage for units that deploy globally and face a wide variety of threats. The ability to customize the tool for the task at hand is a hallmark of modern rifle design. Ergonomics, or how the rifle fits and feels to the shooter, is just as important. An operator might carry their rifle for 12 hours or more, so weight and balance are huge factors. A heavy, front-heavy rifle leads to fatigue, which slows down reaction time and degrades accuracy. The CZ Bren II is praised for its lightweight, while the SCAR H is known for being a bit hefty, especially when fully kitted out. Bullpups like the Steyr AUG and IWE Taver offer a unique ergonomic advantage by placing the action behind the trigger group, making the overall weapon shorter and shifting the balance to the rear. This makes them very maneuverable in tight spaces. Controls also play a vital role in ergonomics. Ambidextrous charging handles, safety selectors, and magazine releases, standard on rifles like the SCAR and MCX, are essential. They allow an operator to manipulate the weapon efficiently with either hand, which is crucial when shooting from cover, or if one hand is injured, The placement of these controls, the grip angle, and the adjustability of the stock all contribute to how intuitive and fast the rifle is to run under pressure. The best rifle feels like a natural extension of the operator's body, allowing them to focus on the threat, not on fumbling with their weapon. So, what does it cost to arm an elite soldier? Well, the answer is honestly pretty complex. When a government, like USOCOM, issues a large contract for thousands of rifles, they get a per-unit price that is way lower than what a civilian would ever pay. For example, a military contract for an HK416 might fall in the range of $1,500 to $2,500 per rifle, depending on the size of the order and what accessories are included. Similarly, a contract for a basic FN SCAR L might be around $2,000. These prices reflect the economy of scale and those long-term support agreements that come with the deal. But for the civilian enthusiast, getting your hands on a similar rifle is a completely different financial reality. A civilian legal, semi-automatic version of the HK416, the MR556A1, will easily set you back $3,500 to $4,000. And that's before you add any optics or accessories. A civilian FN SCAR 16S, which is the 5.56mm version, typically retails for over $3,500. A SIG MCX Virtus, or the newer Spear LT, can run anywhere from $2,500 to $3,000. These are premium prices for premium firearms, and honestly, they put these dream guns out of reach for a lot of shooters. The price reflects not just the advanced engineering and materials, but also the brand prestige. This brings us to a pretty critical question. Is the performance gap big enough to justify the cost difference? Can an expensive rifle like a SCAR or an MCX really outperform a standard, high-quality AR-15 by a factor of 2 or 3? For the average civilian shooter, the answer is almost certainly no. A well-built AR-15 from a reputable manufacturer like Daniel Defense, BCM, or even a KAC SR-15 can be had for $1,500 to $2,500. It'll be incredibly accurate, reliable, and modular. It'll do 99% of what those ultra-expensive rifles can do, for a fraction of the price. The extra money for a SCAR or an HK416 buys you that last 1% of performance, which is mostly about extreme reliability under the harshest conditions imaginable. It buys you the short-stroke piston system that shrugs off full auto-suppressed fire and submersion in mud. For a Navy SEAL fast roping from a helicopter into a hostile environment, that 1% might be the difference between life and death. But for a civilian shooting at a local range or taking a training class, the practical benefit is, well, pretty minimal. The cost-effectiveness of a standard AR-15 is just undeniable for most applications. Let's look at what elite units around the world are actually fielding. The adoption of a rifle by a top-tier special missions unit is the ultimate endorsement. The US Navy's Special Warfare Development Group, DevGRU, formerly SEAL Team 6, and the Army's 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, better known as Delta Force, famously adopted the HK416. Why? Well, after issues with short-barreled M4s running suppressed in the harsh environments of Iraq and Afghanistan, they needed something more reliable. The 416's piston system provided that reliability, running cleaner and cooler, which was a massive advantage during sustained firefights. This choice was driven by a direct operational need. The FN SCAR family also has a distinguished service record. The U.S. Army's 75th Ranger Regiment adopted both the SCAR L and SCAR H for a time. The modularity and the ability to switch between a 5.56mm rifle for standard engagements and a hard-hitting 7.62mm rifle for longer ranges or better barrier penetration was a huge selling point. While the Rangers eventually moved back to an M4-based platform for logistical reasons, the SCAR remains in service with various other USOCOM components and many international special forces units. Its battle-proven design speaks for itself. More recently, the SIG MCX has made significant waves. USOCOM selected a version of the MCX known as the LVAW, or Low Visibility Assault Weapon, for its extreme compactness and caliber change capability. Operators needing a very short, suppressed rifle that could be easily concealed but still offered the power of the .300 blackout cartridge found the perfect tool in the MCX. This shows a trend toward mission-specific weapon systems. It's not about finding one rifle to do everything, but about having a platform that can be adapted to be the perfect tool for a specific task, like covert operations. Meanwhile, international units have made their own choices. The German KSK, Kommando Spezialkräfte, uses the HK416, a natural choice given its German origins. The French GIGN, a world-renowned counter-terrorism unit, recently adopted the CZ Bren II, valuing its lightweight, reliability, and modern features. The British SAS have been seen using the L119A2, which is a highly customized AR-15 variant made by Colt Canada. The takeaway is clear. There is no single best rifle. The choice depends on the unit's specific mission set, budget, and logistical realities. These professionals choose what works, not what's popular. One of the biggest myths in the gun world is that a higher price tag automatically equals better performance. This is simply not true. While a $4,000 rifle is almost certainly a well-made piece of equipment, it doesn't mean a $1,500 rifle is junk. The law of diminishing returns applies heavily to firearms. The difference in performance between a $500 entry-level AR-15 and a $1,500 duty-grade AR-15 is massive. You get better materials, better quality control, and a huge leap in reliability and accuracy. However, the difference between that $1,500 rifle and a $3,500 SCAR is much smaller and more specialized. You are not paying for a rifle that is twice as accurate or twice as reliable. You are paying for specific features and capabilities that are designed for the extreme edge cases of military use. You are paying for a short-stroke gas piston that can handle the abuse of thousands of rounds, fired on full auto, with a suppressor attached. You are paying for the ability to swap barrels in the field, or to fire the weapon after it has been submerged in salt water and sand. These are incredible engineering feats, but they are solutions to problems that the vast majority of shooters will never encounter. Another myth is that if special forces use a certain rifle, it must be the best for everyone. Again, this is a flawed assumption. Elite units make procurement decisions based on a complex set of criteria, including specific mission requirements, existing logistical chains, and long-term support contracts. A unit might choose the HK416 because its piston system solves a specific problem they are having with suppressed short-barreled rifles. That doesn't mean a civilian or a police officer with a 16-inch rifle needs a piston system. Context is everything. The continued and widespread use of AR-15 and M4-based systems, even within special operations, is the ultimate proof that expensive isn't always better. Units like the Green Berets, Marine Raiders, and even the British SAS continue to use highly upgraded AR platforms. Why? Because the system works, and it works extremely well. It is arguably the most ergonomic, modular, and battle-proven rifle platform in history. More importantly, the logistical support for the AR-15 is unmatched anywhere in the world. Parts, magazines, and armorers who know how to fix it are everywhere. That kind of support is invaluable. Despite the arrival of all these new advanced rifle systems, the AR-15 and its military counterpart, the M4, remain the undisputed kings of the battlefield. The reason is simple. It is a mature, refined, and incredibly adaptable system. After more than 60 years of continuous development and combat use, nearly every possible issue has been identified and solved. The direct impingement gas system, once criticized, has been perfected in high-end rifles. Modern metallurgy, coatings, and manufacturing tolerances have made today's AR-15s more reliable than ever before. It is a known quantity, and in combat, the predictable is always better than the unknown. The modularity of the AR-15 is its greatest strength. The aftermarket support for the platform is staggering. You can change every single part of an AR-15 to suit your exact preferences and needs. You can choose from hundreds of different barrels, handguards, stocks, triggers, and grips. This allows an individual soldier or a unit to build a rifle that is perfectly tailored to their body and their mission, without being locked into a proprietary system. This ecosystem of parts also drives innovation and keeps prices competitive. If a better trigger or a lighter handguard comes out, you can easily upgrade your existing rifle. Logistics is the unglamorous but critically important factor that keeps the AR-15 on top. The entire Western military world is built around it. Magazines are standardized. Ammunition, 5.56 by 45mm, is stockpiled in the billions. Every armorer in the US military is an expert on the platform. If a part breaks on an M4 in some remote outpost, there is a very high chance a replacement part is available somewhere in the supply chain. The same cannot be said for a more exotic rifle like a SCAR or a Bren 2. Introducing a new rifle system requires a massive and expensive overhaul of the entire logistical tail, from spare parts to training manuals. This is why many special operations units still choose to use AR-based systems, like the URGI, Upper Receiver Group, Improved, or custom-built rifles from companies like Knight's Armament. They can get 99% of the performance of an exotic piston rifle. by using a highly refined DI system, while retaining 100% of the logistical and training advantages of the AR platform. For many, this is the smartest trade-off. It provides a state-of-the-art weapon that is still fundamentally familiar and supportable. The AR-15 isn't going anywhere, it's simply evolving. So, after breaking it all down, which of these legendary rifles have earned their status, and which are just a bit overrated for the price? The HK416 has undeniably earned its reputation. It solved a real-world problem for the most elite units on the planet, proving that its piston-driven reliability was a true game-changer under the worst conditions. It is a legendary tool of war. Similarly, the SIG MCX has proven its worth through its incredible modularity and adoption as the LVAW, cementing its status as the go-to platform for specialized, low-visibility work. It is the modern definition of an adaptable weapon system. The FN SCAR occupies a more complicated space. It is a fantastic, battle-proven rifle, but its high-cost, proprietary parts and slightly chunky ergonomics have caused some major users, like the Rangers, to move away from it. While it's an excellent weapon, its advantages over a top-tier AR-15 are debatable for many, making it feel slightly overrated given its price point, especially on the civilian market. Rifles like the KACSR-16 prove that a direct impingement system, when perfected, can stand shoulder-to-shoulder with any piston gun, reaffirming the enduring power of the original AR-15 design. The ultimate lesson here is that elite units do not choose their rifles based on marketing hype or what looks cool. They make cold, hard decisions based on performance, reliability, and mission requirements. They choose the tool that will keep them alive and allow them to accomplish their objective. Sometimes that tool is a cutting-edge piston gun, like the HK416. Other times it's a highly refined and trusted AR-15. The name on the side of the rifle matters far less than its ability to perform when everything is on the line. The operator, their training, and their mindset are always more important than the gear. In the end, the perfect rifle is a personal choice, a balance of features, cost, and intended use. For the professional soldier, it's the one their command issues and supports. For the civilian, it's the one that meets their needs and budget. All of these rifles are incredible pieces of engineering, but their worth is subjective. So, I'll leave you with this question. Forget the hype, forget the price tag, and forget the brand names. When the chips are down and your life depends on it, which rifle would you truly trust?